We're testing, babe.
Testing. Scene one, take one.
Ka-check!
Lights. Okay, camera. Okay, action.
Okay, let's do breathing exercises like Sharpay. That's annoying. Imagine somebody just hearing. Okay, really Sharpay. Okay, breathe in. Stop it! All right. Welcome, people of the world. Hi, I'm Panda, and I have somebody very, very special with me. I've known this one since it was a pea size, and now they've turned into a baby shark.
Baby shark, do baby
We'll get
shark,
copyright.
That's it. That's my introduction.
We have Baby Shark with us today, and we are actually sisters. I would have liked to believe that I gave birth to this one, but I didn't. I still just am her sister, nothing else.
No, you did leave genes in the mom's womb, so I do have your genes as well.
Which ones? Boyfriend cut? Mom jeans? Jorts?
Who called them dad jokes and not older sister jokes? Like,
Shut up. Yeah, so Baby Shark and I are going to go through a couple of things that I've collated from the internet, and we've just finished watching When Life Gives You Tangerines. My face is all puffed up because of the crying, but I'm going to name this session Life and Its Tangerines. And the theme is that I've collated some advices from older women for younger women, and we have a substantial age gap. So I thought it'll be fun to get your perspective and my perspective as well, and also the fact that we've both actually completed 1/4 of our lives, so we are on the verge of a quarter life crisis. But maybe this could be an inspiration, some people can relate, or just an easy listen. I'll pull out the advices that different older women have given over time, and then we can also go through some of the things that maybe we wanted to tell our younger self.
okay,
That's what we're gonna do.
that's what's up.
Again,
Let's
1,
go.
2, 3, go. So, Baby Shark, actually, I think you should give an introduction to yourself.
Mhm.
Why did you choose Baby Shark and like just hello people of the world, whatever you want to do? Maybe you can do some ASMR.
Hello, people of the world. Baby Shark coming into you right now, live in the studio.
Yeah, there's also some very unique way of wearing their mic on their glasses, like a new accessory. I don't approve of it, but don't have a say in it apparently.
I mean, it's gonna be there, so might as well use the glasses.
Fine. Okay, so your introduction, go for it.
Okay, so hello, I'm Baby Shark. I am Panda's sister, and I just chose the Baby Shark because in her eyes, I'm always gonna be a little kid.
That's why
And
the baby.
that's why the baby. And for sharks, if I think everyone must know, but sharks do not really attack unprovoked. They do seem like a very scary creature, but inside they're just cinnamon rolls.
Yeah, she might seem very hard on the outside because her exterior is a facade that she's built for herself. You don't know the house inside, it's aesthetic and purple and all things nice. But yeah, so just like a shark, they could kill you, but they will not kill you.
Yeah,
You
until
know.
unless you provoke them. So,
So she's
terms and conditions.
okay, TNC apply. Okay, so things older women have shared for younger girls, things that they would have liked to know when they were young as well. I feel like I've been feeling a lot of this recently.
Mhm.
Uh, Growing up, a lot of the things that I always knew when I was young because I chose to read philosophy books, self help books. There are a lot of things that I knew that, oh, this is what happens, so I should take care of it now so that so that my future self does not like have to go through this. And now that I am the future self, I'm like, I knew about this, but I still didn't do anything about it. Why was that? Because I was better in my mind. There's this book called Tuesdays with Maury.
Oh, you loved it,
I
yeah.
love that book. I still love that book. That's the book that I've marked so much. There's pencil marks all over. And now, because I've read it like 6,500 times, I'll just open the book to a random page and just read that page and just look at what I've marked in that page.
Mm.
It's really good book, something that I've resonated to, and that's my one book recommendation whenever anybody asks me, what's one book that you think everybody should read in their lives? In that time, I was going through something, and that book helped me get through it and also opened my perspectives. So that's like, I did not have a role model, let's say, or did not have the kind of role model I wanted for the things that I wanted,
Mhm.
because everybody grows up in different situations. So, what I was saying is, this is really nice for women to, go out and say that these are the things that I would have liked my younger self to know. And there are so many things that I wish my younger self would know.
Yeah.
What about you? Have you had those moments, or are you still like really young?
I think for me, I've always just, I had the same thing of knowing what would happen if I made certain decisions. So instead of doing them, I just ended up not doing them. I was very cautious of everything. So I think I'm still doing good on what my younger self thought was
Oh,
safe things to do.
mm,
I'm still acting well on it.
that's a very good point that I will remember and bring it up when one of the advisors come up. So
Yeah.
wait for it.
If yeah.
So there's some really fun ones,
Okay.
really deep ones, really ridiculous ones, but it makes sense. So I think I want to start it light.
Mm-hmm.
The first one I have is one of the regrets that an old lady shared, that I wish I had flirted more.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And she's like, many older women say they took themselves too seriously in their youth and did not kind of flirt, which connects to your point about being safe.
Yeah.
But it's difficult because the world that we live in might not just see it as flirting, but
Mm-hmm.
some healthy flirting with some safe space people
Yeah.
might be helpful. You know how Bunny from Ye Jawani Hai Diwani for the Indian audiences says, flirting is good for your health, like yoga. And I agree, when you flirt and there's this certain dynamic where you're safe and you know that that person is not going to intrude your thoughts,
Mm-hmm.
it's interesting. But it's interesting that somebody who is older is like, oh, I wish I had flirted more when I was
Yeah. I mean, I think for me, flirting is more of talking to people, and gosh, men in general, it's just a whole other
young. Let's
ballpark.
not open that can of worms.
Exactly. So I've had like a good few interactions. I do not understand the whole concept of dating because it's like way too much energy
Oh,
and way
it
too much
is.
letting someone into your
Oh
life when you're
my
very
god.
comfortable in your own bubble. But flirting is obviously it's harmless fun.
Harmless fun. And
Yeah.
basically, I think what they're saying is it's good to have a little fun,
Yeah.
Why not? If it doesn't lead to anything bad. Cue all the Sadhan India
Exactly.
episodes. Episodes with, like, yeah,
Yeah.
interesting. So float more next time you get a chance, maybe.
Yeah. If you like someone, don't just
Yeah, that's also
yeah.
true. But that's interesting. That's one of the things. Another thing they've said is they've been too polite to people who've treated them badly.
Oh, oh, because that's so true. And I've always been like, even if you're bad to me, I do not want to project that negative
Yeah.
energy because I believe that how I treat people is gonna be how someone treats me down along the line. So
Okay.
even if I am honestly rude, I think that I'm very rude to that person, and the other person might not even think that way. Like
Uh,
the people around me might think, no, that was not true, but I'm gonna beat myself up,
mm,
thinking that, oh, I was so rude to them, I was so mean.
no.
So, yeah,
But what about, how we were watching Life of Tangerines and you literally called Guansek a pushover? Do
yeah,
you think being too polite is also maybe being a pushover?
it is, honestly.
Isn't
If
it?
you can't stand up for yourself, then it's a bit of an issue. Like, if you know very straightforwardly that the person who's talking to you is talking down to you, is saying something wrong about
Yeah.
you, and you're still not standing up
Yeah.
for yourself, that's where I draw the line. And that also comes with, I've done law, so we've always did that whole thing of protecting a person's individuality, their personality, their character. And even though we are protecting just a fictitious client,
Mm-hmm.
we end up forgetting to do that about ourselves.
Oh, yeah.
So you just need to remember to apply the ideals you give out to others, the things you coach others with, to your life as well.
These ideals don't work in the real world,
Cha-cha.
Chachad. Oh, that's interesting. So be kind, be polite, but don't get walked over.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it's very difficult, but one thing that I've learned in the past couple of years is the British people do it really well.
Yeah.
They're always polite, they're always sweet, they'll always be like, oh my god, they're so considerate. But it's just their way of living. They'll not mean anything they say,
Hmm.
they will not take anything to heart, like, oh my god, I'm being too polite or something. It's just normal for them to be
Yeah.
polite. And that's something really cool that I think that they do, that they're not attached to it.
Hmm.
They're doing it just because it's the way they were brought up, or it's the way that they think things work. Like, even if they don't mean it, they were like, oh yeah, that's so nice, so lovely, it looks
Yeah.
great. They must think in their brains like, oh my god, that's shit. But they
Yeah.
just automatically, their brains go, oh, it's so nice, which is a very, very nice way of being polite.
Yeah.
I feel like, be polite, but don't be attached to it.
Hmm.
Like, I really struggle with it. If I don't like something, I have to say I don't like it.
Yeah.
I can't do the, oh, it's actually really nice. I can't. If I say I actually really like it, I do actually really like it.
Yeah.
So that's something very weird, and I'm still not able to, pick up on it. It's difficult. It's difficult, bro. Another one that they have is losing touch with old friends,
Hmm.
which is like, I expect that to happen.
Yeah. With time, you grow apart.
That's not
People have
something.
different things going on.
The reasons for losing touch might be something that
Mm.
you can be more careful of. Don't hurt anybody,
Yeah.
or like whatever. You,
Thankfully,
you,
I think you've had a lot more drama in the friendship aspect. Like my friends,
you
if I've
calling me
lost touch, it's just,
dramatic? Excuse me.
it was a lot of
Call
drama.
me
Please,
dramatic.
please. Yeah, because all the contact that I've lost is just because we were in different places.
Hmm.
Like when we left school, we went to different states for our unis. Once uni was finished, like I moved away,
Yeah,
other people moved to different things, but
yeah.
we still do keep in contact. Thankfully, I have friends who are kind hearted. Like I
Oh,
have friends who just randomly message me that, oh, how's it going? It doesn't need to, I don't need to talk to them 24/7. I don't need to talk to them 7 days a week.
yeah,
It's just whenever they message me, I feel happy. I just need one or two people in my life who I can talk to randomly. And I'm the kind of person who's not gonna message someone every day.
yeah.
So thankfully, I have friends who are on the same wavelength.
I think that's the reason you're friends with them,
Yeah.
because some people like 24/7 interaction, 24/7 being there. And
Mm.
if you were friends, or if you tried a friendship with a person who had that kind of filters, you wouldn't be friends.
Yeah.
So
So that's why you lose
cute,
contact.
cute.
Yeah.
No, losing contact is a different thing, I feel like, because we were the same wavelength, but something in life happened, or something between us happened, so
Mm.
we've now lost touch. So, and it's very normal, I feel like. I used to think like, oh my god, I need to be friends with everybody. I
Mhm.
need to be friends nicely. I need to have a nice relationship with every person I
Yeah.
know. Even if I'm not talking to them, things need to be okay between us.
Mhm.
That's this misconception I've had in life ever since I was young. And that's one of the reasons that I have loads of friends. But now, as I've grown up, and thanks to quarter life crisis, I've accepted that you can't have everybody all the time. That's never gonna happen.
Mhm.
So I've just accepted that it's one of the beauties of growing up, that you do lose touch with your friends, and if there's nothing you can do about it, there's nothing you can do about it, because life goes on and on and on.
Like the BTS song.
No. What do you mean with that? The next one is also very funny because it says, I should have laughed at myself more,
Okay, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
because we end up taking ourselves too seriously.
Yeah.
But I like, in like some situations, I do like just making fun of myself. But we need to be. I'm really cautious that I'm also not self sabotaging.
Yeah.
It also turns into a personality trait. One of my friends, I have, the personality trait is just self sabotage,
Mm.
nothing else.
Yeah.
Is, balance is key. You need to be careful of, oh, what's happening, what are
Yeah.
we doing.
You can be too strict on yourself, and that's just because since you're young, you have that high of aspirations for your own self. it's like, when parents have strict expectations on you,
Yeah,
but you
yeah.
end up doing that to yourself, and you're like, every time you do not achieve something, you're very hard on yourself, and that's very
Half of the world
difficult.
will not relate to that, maybe, because not everybody has the same kind of parents like we did. But
No, it's
you're
not even the
right.
parents. I think the way we were brought up, we had so much given to us, so many qualities we had in ourselves, so much potential we still have, and it just feels like a waste if it's not being used. And that's a very hard thing to do, to not be
It's a hard
critical
pill
of.
to
Yeah,
swallow.
exactly.
It is indeed, it is. You mentioned kind hearted friends. There's one on here about choosing a kind hearted partner.
Yeah.
It's a very nice thing to consider right now
Hmm.
when we're choosing a partner, because right now we're like, oh, looks are important, money is important, this is important, that's important. But somebody who's made through life says that that's not important, you can get it together. The thing is, are they kind enough? Are they going to be kind to you? Because you're going to spend, let's say, 40 years of your life with that one person. If they're not kind, what was the reason you chose them?
It's literally like when life gives you tangerines.
I
Because she says,
know, I
I love that you're the
cannot.
steel heart. Even if
Yes,
I'm going hungry, I know you won't break my heart.
yes.
And that made so much sense.
I feel like being hungry is obviously an emotion relating to, let's say, being not rich enough,
Hmm.
because I don't like the word poor.
Hmm.
Heartbreak is way worse than feeling poor, I feel like. Okay, feeling poor, you can do something about it. You can make ends meet. You can do, it'll be really hard. I'm not saying this pain is bigger than this pain or this pain is lesser than this pain. I'm just saying, as a person, you don't need six pains at a time.
Yeah.
If you can reduce one pain from the list, just drop it.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying. Having a kind partner also helps in just your response to life,
Yeah.
because life does give you a lot of tangerines. Like we said, all these things that we've talked up until now will be a problem in somebody's life at some point,
Hmm.
and you've been given this tangerine by life because I don't know. They're like, what are you gonna do with it? Are you gonna give it to the next person? Are you gonna keep it? Are you gonna roast it and eat it? Which is what? You roast tangerines and eat it? What do you mean? And yeah, so knowing about these tangerines helps the way you deal with it.
Hmm.
You know that this might happen. If you already know that, oh, if this happens, we could do this, 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 then that makes your life easy to decide what do I want to do about it. That's the whole point of, having these conversations and having a little laugh about it here and there.
Yeah. Because the thing is, even if you have a plan, oh, it's so much more different. You can have a plan about how you're gonna face a heartbreak, how you're gonna face the situation. But once you're actually in that situation, your brain goes blank. Because,
Yeah.
like, I love watching these videos called How to Beat. So
Mm.
it's like, how do you beat like slasher movies and stuff.
Oh, okay.
So they analyze how this character should have acted. They should have ran this way. They should have taken this thing as self
Oh,
defense. But in the end of the day, they also acknowledge that if I was in that situation, I know that I would not be any better. I can judge right now because I'm
yeah.
outside the
Yeah,
picture,
yeah,
I'm a
yeah, yeah.
third person.
Exactly.
So that is so much more different. It's just, if you're mentally prepared, that helps you steal your heart just a bit more, just a tiny bit.
Yeah, so like you were saying, in that moment, you lose yourself and your brain just goes frozen. And I feel like these talks are really important for situations like that,
Hmm.
because when your brain is frozen, subconscious mind gets
Yeah.
activated. And
Hmm.
if you have these things in your subconscious, you have a smarter subconscious, I feel like, So even when you're like dying and you don't know what to do with life,
Yeah.
subconscious, oh, remember that conversation about that?
Yeah.
And it picks up things from there, and it can be, very interesting how we choose things.
Exactly. Yeah.
One of the really funny ones that I like is wear sunscreen.
Yeah.
You know what? I know this.
Hmm.
I know I need this, but I still don't do it.
Exactly. It's the
Why
same
don't I
thing.
do
You
it?
know
What is
what's
my
good for
problem? What
you.
is my problem?
Yeah.
I know. Why don't we do it?
Yeah. We know that we need to moisturize the neck as well as we moisturize the face, but still, do we do it? No. We know that it's gonna
Yeah.
cause wrinkles. but we still do not do it. That's
And
the same as what we were talking about. You can know what the consequences are, but when you're in that situation,
your brain just doesn't. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. But I've been trying. I've been trying really consciously to put my moisturizer over to my neck. I'm wearing sunscreen today, so no sun can harm me. And you know what the inspiration was for that? I don't know if I've told you this. Our parents' aging
Yeah.
has made me really conscious,
Mm.
and my parents' aging has made me think about a lot of things very differently.
Yeah.
And I don't know what I thought, but I thought they're never gonna age. And now that I'm seeing it with my own eyes, I'm like, my brain's frozen.
Uh,
And my subconscious is like, what do we do here? Sorry, what's the procedure? Sorry, we don't have the manual. Who did the risk assessment for this? I don't
yeah.
know. Yeah, so guys, wear your sunscreen. That's the thing.
That's the
Yeah.
PSA today.
It's really funny because I never wore sunscreen when I was younger, and I was making a joke about it recently. That when I was in school, I look so bloody tanned. I am a different shade. I can't believe it's the same skin
Yeah.
because no sunscreen. Like my ethnicity changed. How to change your ethnicity? Stop wearing sunscreen.
Oh gosh, that sounds so wrong.
Thank you. I would like to say some controversial things too. Why only be self help motivating? We should be controversial and problematic.
I
That's
don't like
literally.
peace. I want problems. Always.
Yes! Saying of that, there's another one that says, be the bad bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Also kind of links to, not being too polite, not being walked over, laughing at yourself.
Oh, it's the circle of life. We're literally coming back to the questions that we
Interesting,
started with.
isn't it? Isn't
Yeah.
it? Another one is, don't think too much about aging because
Mm.
gray hair is beautiful, wrinkles
Oh
are
my god, you
stories,
need this.
stop hiding them.
Yeah.
I'm struggling. I am
She is.
struggling to embrace it because so are our parents, to be honest. I just gave them a lecture today, like, oh, stop it. You don't have to, pretend like you're young. Just accept it. Aging is a beautiful process. I gave them this whole lecture, came back, and I was like, oh my
She
god, I
does
have
not
my first
practice what she
wrinkle.
preaches.
Kill me now. Yes, practicing what you preach is the most difficult thing in the world.
It is.
It is so difficult. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. What else can we say from here? Burnout isn't a badge of honor.
Yeah. Because it is so difficult to allow yourself to take a break because it's like you're in a sea, and if you stop swimming, you're just gonna sink and drown. And
Just like
it's,
Grunsik was having trouble
yeah,
calming down, but his situation was different, right? He
exactly.
had to do it because
Yeah.
otherwise, how was he going to feed his family? Sacrificing a relationship, sacrificing this and that, just so that you're like, no, no, I have to make as much money as possible, even though I can get through with life. I don't
But
know.
no, that's the thing, because everyone has like different goals. Like
Hmm.
your goal might be that you just want to make your rent.
Yeah.
My goal might be that I want to make my rent and I also want to go out on a trip. Like
Yeah.
imagine
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
So it's just
Yeah. Point
working towards
taken.
your aim.
Yeah. But don't burn out. You can
Yeah.
still do it. Maybe you increase the time period in which you wanted to do it. Instead of burning yourself out, you achieve it in a more planned, strategic way. I can't believe Asun's mom, Asun, I'm
Yeah.
definitely butchering the names, she died when she was 29 because
Yeah.
she worked too hard. I was crying my eyes off and she was so young. Yeah, interesting. Very interesting, isn't it?
Mm.
Another one on here is if they don't make you laugh, don't marry them.
Yes, that's actually
Kind
true.
hearted and funny.
Yeah.
That's all that matters then.
Because that's what happened with this person that I was seeing, that even
Ooh,
though they were kind
ooh.
hearted, if you do not feel like you can laugh with them, it's not worth your time.
Yeah, you need
Because
some laugh because life's gonna give
exactly.
you all these tangerines if you can't make fun about it. If you can't make a podcast out of it, what's the whole point?
Yeah.
It is another one that says, I wish I had married someone who made me laugh every day because passion fades, but humor and companionship lasts a lifetime.
Okay.
Big words, yeah.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of people had lessons about their marriage and relationships, and I feel kind of sad about that.
Why?
There's like so many people. Oh gosh, you see so many people, and you see that somewhere they're not working together, but you also see that they're trying their level best, and that just makes me so sad. I've seen so many friends, and I would always be the person who's receiving their messages about
Mm-hmm.
something going on in their
Mm-hmm.
life. This
Mm-hmm.
is happening, that is happening, and I don't know if it's my mentality or what, but I'm like, you can just walk away. But they are always like, no, we want to give it a chance. I think that's one of the things that's beautiful about love.
And
But
also as sad.
exactly, that's also a very scary portion.
It is, it is.
Yeah,
I know what you mean. But they have their reasons. We don't know their entire stories. Especially
exactly.
our parents come from a generation where love and companionship had nothing to do with marriage.
Yeah.
So there's a whole different think about that, and how people are now approaching marriage or companionship is pretty different. And I really have a lot of hope for a generation that we can at least break some of the curses and
Mhm.
some of the generational trauma that's been, passed out for no reason. There's one on here that I really hope and pray that my older self is proud of me for taking up, and that is that I wish I had been more selfish in love.
Okay,
It
yeah.
is very easy to get lost in love and be like, oh, that person is my life, and I need to do everything for them.
Mhm.
But you are your own life. And this is what I mean, the generation
Yeah.
and the way people are now approaching love, companionship, marriage is kind of refreshing. I am not going to lie. Yes, half the world still doesn't think like that, but even if the five people I talk to out of 10 think about that, I am
Yeah.
happy that at least the five people gave me the refreshing kind of context. So, yes, I wish I had been more selfish in love. You don't want to keep giving and giving. And there's this quote that I really like. It's on the wall over there, stuck as well. It
Mhm.
says, you cannot pour from an empty cup.
Ah, that's so nice.
Y- and I am a giver, a people
Yeah.
pleaser.
Mm-hmm.
So this is something that I'm like, no, selfish, pour some in your cup and
Hmm.
then you give it. It's
Yeah.
not that bad. It's something that I want to tell you as well, but you're already aware of it. And I know that you make really strong, good choices in your life, so you will not be selfish in love. Which is what you were saying, the person you were saying. It was nice, it was all nice, but I couldn't have a laugh with him. So I was like, why would I want to waste my time with you? And I'm so proud of you for doing that.
Exactly. It's more of not wasting my time, but I know that they deserve someone who will put in all of the effort for them. But if
Yeah,
I'm not feeling comfortable with you,
yeah,
I'm not gonna put my 100%. And they do not deserve that.
that's
They
true.
deserve someone who's gonna give them their 100%.
Yeah,
So yeah.
yeah. There's another one very interesting one. It
Hmm.
says, I should have ghosted more men instead of giving them explanations.
Ah, okay.
This very like, the female rage in me really relates to this,
Mm-hmm.
because men do this very easily. They
Mm-hmm.
just ghost you, close off, no explanations.
Yeah.
But us women, we're like, no, no, this is the reason, this is
Exactly.
the
Yeah.
closure, here we go, blah 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 blah. I know one of the girls who was like mistreated at a date, and she went on and she was being polite and said like, okay, all okay, yeah, just wanted to say it was good, but whatever. And this guy says, yeah, I don't think we are a good match anyways, I think you're being really clingy. And he was the one who was the problem. Just because she was trying to be nice and she
Yeah.
was explaining, he got the chance to feel, moral superiority. I was like, oh my god, the female rage within me. Just ghost him, just block him. I've done a lot of times. I'll just go, no, no, no explanations.
Mm.
Me before you, right?
Yeah. But I think it's because women have been more on the receiving end of the ghosting thing. So now we
Yeah,
really
it's
do
annoying.
value closure. So even if I say that we should not see anyone, that if I tell
Mhm.
someone I don't want to see them anymore,
Yeah.
I am gonna be that person. I'm gonna give you a message. I'm not gonna block you. I'm just gonna let you know I don't want to ghost you, but I also do not want to lead you on.
It depends.
Yeah.
You did that because it was more relatable to you. But
Mm-hmm.
some people find it really taxing. And
Yeah.
why should they be forced to do?
Exactly. Yeah.
Interesting. And there's one more that says, I regret not being a gold digger.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I can get that. Yeah.
So that means she was not a gold digger. she did the right thing. She went with somebody who was not rich, but still suffered through life, maybe. She
Yeah.
was like, might as well have just been a gold digger. At least I would have had money, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So there's a choices, but very interesting. I wish
Mm-hmm.
I'd been a gold digger. I love all these perspectives online where people are just like, you know how men keep calling us the gold digger because they might have the gold later
Someday. Yeah.
someday. I'm like, oh my god, female rage activated. Oh, which one should I see? This one's very nice. If it's for the corporate baddies, maybe
Mm-hmm.
it says, I regret not being difficult at work, and not taking bullshit would have gotten me further.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not being difficult.
Mm.
Most of our life, we've been told to be the nice girl, right?
Yeah.
Not be difficult, not be the demanding, whatever boss. I love this about my workplace. There's so many women. We have a little mentoring circle. So they come and tell us what they've done. And a lot of young women in the industry, and they're all like, oh no, but I don't want to be this, I don't want to be that. And all the older ladies, all that they tell them is no. You have
Mm-hmm.
to ask for what you want. And they don't let them be, what do you say, not difficult at work. Like, you have to be difficult if you want something, and you go and ask for it. If you don't ask for it, you don't get it.
Yeah. I mean, it's good with
You
the
you
whole.
you're thinking a lot of things. I want you to
Yeah.
talk about it.
Because it's good with the whole, bad bitch, be your own boss thing.
Yeah,
But we had this class in company law, and our
yeah,
professor, he gave us a really nice statistic of a Harvard study,
yeah.
which was that it was a comparative study of females who had asked
Oh,
for raises and for positions,
yeah.
and versus people who did not ask. And imagine who got more raises.
Oh, the people who asked.
The people who did not ask. Because even today, just women being difficult is like they can't work in a team and everything. And that made people be more afraid of
What?
giving them more. Because the majority of the
Do you
class
see my
said,
brain being what?
exactly, because
Mind blown.
majority of our class said, oh, it must be the people who've asked and they
Yes,
got more
yes.
benefits. And he said, no, it was the opposite.
Is he
So
is he sure about that? I don't want to trust his word. What is this report? We will link it in the video. What?
I'll look for it and I'll send it to you. So
Really?
yeah, so it wasn't that he was showing that you should not ask, he was showing that your
Context.
power starts from the way of thinking.
Okay.
And if that's not going to change, then no matter how strong you are, if you are surrounded by people who have very fickle personalities,
Mm-hmm.
who cannot take
Loads
you
of people
being
have
strong,
fickle personalities, so
then
many.
your strength is going to become your weakness. So it
Hmm.
just comes from, so what he had basically said was, you as a class of 60 students who are
Yeah.
attending this session,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
hope that at least out of you people,
yeah.
you will have that strong personality of helping, of
Okay.
allowing others to grow, of growing with them.
Okay.
So yeah.
It's very interesting.
Mm,
And I didn't know that. My mind is completely blown that the ones that didn't ask, what?
yeah.
What? That's a good reminder for me, maybe. Don't ask too much. Or like think about it. Interesting, interesting. There's one that says, don't wait until you're ready. I feel like I am definitely applying it because this podcast is a glowing, gleaming example of it. I was thinking of a really cool adjective there and didn't find anything.
Yeah.
I waited too long to be ready. I know you guys have told me all my life. I know you've told me,
Mm-hmm.
just post it, just do it. This creative
Mm-hmm.
thing, because I have a lot of creative ideas. I want
Yes.
to do this, I want to do that, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. That's my personality, but I've never done it
Mm-hmm.
because I've always been like, oh, I'm not 100% ready. I cannot put out mediocre content. That is just not me. And now
Exactly.
I've decided I am not waiting for myself to be
Mm-hmm.
100% ready. I'm just putting it out. Worst comes to worst, what? It doesn't get views. People make fun of me. Might as well. I don't care. I'm now at the age where I'm too old for that.
Yeah.
Uh, do you have something that you wish your 15-year-old self would have known?
Mm.
15, you're in school. What is the one advice you would give her? Or let's say two advices that you would give her.
Okay. Uh, I would tell them to be a bit more confident about their own decisions, and to know
Yeah.
that
Oh, father's calling us.
not that there was any issues, but sometimes you just need to remember that a child is a child. You do not need to be so emotionally mature. You do not need
Yeah,
to act
100%.
so confident. You can be a child, you can make mistakes, and it's absolutely fine.
Oh, you're breaking up just
Oh,
talking about it.
can you
Oh.
not?
Okay, fine.
Yeah,
Can I do this? Oh, you're just breaking up talking about it.
yeah.
Fine. And what is the your advice to your young self would be to be more confident in their decisions and not think about being mature right when you were not needed to be mature.
To enjoy childhood as a child.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's really sad, bro. Okay, next one.
Isn't that two advices? How many are we supposed to give?
Sorry, what?
One was to be confident in your decision. Second was to enjoy childhood as a child. You said two.
Okay,
Okay,
sorry.
what
I
about
thought
you?
it was one combined one. Okay, so I'm not going to my childhood because I'm old, right? So what would I tell a 21-year-old me?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say
Yeah.
21, 22-year-old me would be. What would I tell her? Interesting. I would tell her to take more risks and not be too safe. That's what I would tell her.
Mm-hmm. That's nice.
To take more risks and not be too safe.
Yeah.
Because now I feel like, oh, that was the time to do it. I didn't do it.
Yeah.
And now I'm too old to do it. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's what's up.
Yeah.
Panda and Baby Shark. We will be having Baby Shark returning for other podcasts. This was just something which I was thinking a lot about when I was watching Life of Tangerines. Like,
Mm-hmm. When
when
life
life
gives
gives
you
you
tangerines,
tangerines. I do want to say it's a really slow watch if anybody wants to watch it. But
it really uh, expects you to immerse yourself in the whole
yes,
experience. It's
yes,
a beautiful cinematic thing. So I
I
would
love it.
just watch it on a TV or
Yeah,
something
yeah, yeah,
because the
100%.
sets, the backgrounds, it's so
Really
beautiful.
beautiful. It's a real slice of life content, film
Mhm.
content. Maybe we can do a full review when we are finished with it.
Mhm.
But for now, it took up until season 6 for me to actually feel a lot of things. Season 6, episode 6,
Mhm.
to feel a lot of things. So 6 hours into the season is when I was like, oh, okay, I like this now.
Yeah.
But that's a long six
I
hours,
think it was
bro.
because we are at an age where it's
Quick.
from season 6 that we can relate when it's something family related. Before that, we're not married. We do not know what is the stress of getting
You
married,
mean
making
episode
ends
6,
meet.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, till episode 6, because it's more about
Mm.
having a partner, having a family, making that small family
True.
work,
Maybe.
making
You're
ends
right.
meet. Yeah, it's only after season 6 when we're like,
Episode
how
6.
kids
Our
treat their
brains are not
parents.
braining.
Yeah, sorry, episode 6.
6 times you said it wrong. I
Sorry,
said it wrong.
so it's only after episode 6 that we can relate because now we are the kids who've seen this happen. So only after this will we be like, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, so when I was watching that, I was thinking about, life and its tangerines. And I have my sister here, and we kind of have a lot of talks like this on and off. Collating and just using this time would have been a good use. And what I want out of this was the reason I brought up so many of the advices and we touch and go on these is just because I want to simplify life
Mm-hmm.
and simplify it 1% every day.
Yeah.
So whenever somebody is reading or listening to this or whatever, watching us talk, if they can pick up any one item,
Mm-hmm.
that's
Or
thumbs
if
up.
they can relate to something, because it's
Or
so
just feeling heard, feeling
exactly,
seen is
yeah,
such a big deal. And
yeah.
if any of these boxes get ticked, sorted.
That's a win for
We do
us.
see it, say it,
Sorted.
sorted. Can you tell that we're awkward?
No,
Can you say
no,
that
we're
we're
amazing.
awkward? Yeah, yeah,
She's
yeah, yeah.
awkward. I'm good.
I'm awkward, yeah. So those were some of the life and life's tangerines. and how you can maybe roast them up, slice them up, juice it up.
Mhm.
But yeah, so maybe now we will leave you with the thought that what would you tell your younger self? Think about it.
Bye bye.